So right about now, you're probably thinking, how the heck am I supposed to remember all of these numbers? And truth is, I've never had this all memorized. I've been able to figure out some parts of it if I really needed to, but I've also never had a teacher explain it to me like I just did to you. It hopefully makes a little bit of sense that way. Now, in addition to that, there is a left-hand trick to remember this, which I had never had shown to me, so hopefully you guys can remember it better than I ever did. So, the left-hand trick only relates to that first quadrant like we've started off talking about. And if you look at it, the fingers pretty much match up with degrees. This would be 0 degrees. This would be 30. And then 45, 60, and 90. And better yet, if you could think about them in radians and those pi measures, that would be even better yet. Pi over 2, pi over 4, pi over 6, and pi over 3. Now, all you have to do is fold down the finger of whichever one you're trying to figure out. So, for example, if you fold down 30 degrees, you have 3 fingers here, 1 finger here, and all you have to remember is put it over 2 with a square root. And square root of 1 is 1, so that doesn't really matter. And if you look at 30 degrees, it's square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2, comma, 1 over 2. Where your bent finger acts as the comma. So now let's look at 45 degrees. If you fold down that finger, which would be your middle finger, you have 2 fingers above, 2 fingers below. Put them both over 2 and take the square root. Square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Same thing. And then 60, same thing, you fold that down. You have 1 finger above, 1 over 2, and 3 fingers below, square root of 3 over 2. 1 over 2, square root of 3 over 2. So now, to see how some of this applies, let's look at some examples. 5 pi over 6. So if you quickly just think about 5 pi over 6, that's almost all the way around. This would be pi. It's 1/6 less than that. This would be over here. 1/6 less. So if you know what 1/6 is over here, you can figure it out just by flipping the x. So that would be the first part of our left hand. So if you fold down, it would be your ring finger you're folding down. We would have 3 over 2 and 1 over 2. But since it's over here on the left side, it's going to be a negative x value. So we have our terminal point. Now, for our second one, 7 pi over 4, that's the next one up will be 8 pi over 4, which is 2 pi. So that means it's a full circle minus just a quarter. So minus a quarter would be, it's really an eighth of the whole thing. So really what that means then is we're looking for its counterpart in the first quadrant, which would be right in the middle. So you fold down your middle finger, and that's 2 fingers on each side. So that's 2 over 2, 2 over 2. But since it's down here in quadrant 4, we know our x value is positive, but our y is negative. And there's our terminal point. So now we're looking at a t of negative 2 pi over 3. So we're going negative, so we're going counterclockwise. 3 over 3 would be half of the circle. We're going 2/3 of that to here. Since that's over here, it's really the same as this value up here, which is pi over 3, but reflected. So it's the same as pi over 3 up here in the upper right, which would be your ring finger. If you fold down your ring finger, you get 3 and then 1. But since they're both over here, they're both going to be negative. Actually, I have that backwards because it doesn't match up with pi over 3. It matches up there. I was using pi over 6 instead of pi over 3. So it should be pi over 3, which would be folding down your pointer finger. So instead of 3 and 1, it's flipped. 1 and 3. Still, they're both negative, though, because we're looking at the counterpart in the third quadrant. Now, 29 pi over 6, that's more than 2 pi, so we can actually take 29 over 6 and try to simplify that a little bit. So every 12 over 6 is 1 full circle, so 12 over 6, then 24 over 6. So it does 2 full revolutions, and that'll be the 24 over 6. So there's still 5 pi over 6 left. So since it's 5 pi over 6, that means it's 1/6 less than a half of a circle. It's just 1/6 less. And we know that 1/6, that is associated with our ring finger. So that would be 3 and 1. When you fold down your ring finger, you have 3 fingers left and 1 below it. But since it's in quadrant 2, it's negative x value and a positive y.